A cardboard box arrives in the living room. Inside it, a new piece of furniture waits to be assembled, and along with the parts comes a small plastic bag with screws and a small black metal bar bent into the shape of an L. The Allen key. But who exactly was Allen? And the answer hides something that almost no one imagines. This little piece you use to assemble shelves was not invented to assemble anything. It was created because more than a century ago, machines were killing people. And today you will discover how what you do with it repeats, gesture by gesture, the solution that stopped those deaths. The United States, early 20th century. American factories were living through the era of mechanical transmission. Anyone who walked into an industrial building of that time found a scene that today seems like another world. On the ceiling, long steel shafts spun without stopping, crossing the building from end to end. From those shafts came down leather belts that carried the movement to each machine below. Lathes, saws, presses, and looms depended on that overhead system to operate. The noise was constant. The air carried dust and oil, and workers labored just a few inches from parts spinning at high speed, often with no barrier between their bodies and the metal. There were no protections like the ones we have today. Safety depended on the attention of each worker at the end of shifts that ran past 10 hours. And it was exactly there, in that environment of metal in motion, that a tiny detail was hiding, responsible for some of the most terrible accidents in industry. A detail the size of a coin. What could be so small and so dangerous at the same time? To fasten gears and pulleys to the spinning shafts, industry used set screws with a protruding square head. They worked very well for the mechanical task, but they created a silent and treacherous trap. That head stuck out from the surface of the shaft, spinning hundreds of times per minute, almost invisible because of its speed. All it took was a loose sleeve, the edge of an apron, or a worker's long hair passing too close. The screw would catch the fabric and pull the person into the mechanism in a fraction of a second, giving no one time to react. Records from that era document mutilations and deaths caused by that tiny detail. Factory inspectors began to pressure companies, and the first safety laws started to demand a concrete solution. The answer seemed obvious. Simply eliminate the protruding head and recess the screw into the surface of the shaft, leaving everything completely smooth. But that solution created a new problem, one that sounds almost like a riddle. How do you tighten and loosen a screw that has no head to grip? The answer came from Hartford, Connecticut. In 1910, a manufacturer named William G. Allen registered a patent describing a practical method for producing screws with a hexagonal socket carved into the head itself. The idea of an internal socket had been circulating among engineers for decades, but no one had managed to manufacture it cheaply and at scale. It was considered too expensive to be worth it. Allen solved the missing piece, the manufacturing process. His company, the Allen Manufacturing Company, began producing the recessed head screws and the tool that came with them. A simple steel bar with 6 sides, bent into an L to give leverage to the worker's hand. The logic was elegant. With the force applied from the inside, the head of the screw could sit completely recessed into the surface of the shaft, with no point where clothing could catch. The shaft spun as smooth as a pipe. The problem that seemed impossible was solved. But the reach of that solution would go far beyond what any factory imagined. The internal socket screw spread through American industry in the following decades. Other companies developed their own versions of the system, and a competitor from Pennsylvania went on to fight for that market with strength and good products. But it was the name of the Hartford company that stuck in the language of the workshops. Workers asked for the Allen key, and the brand name became the name of the object, the same way it happened with brands like Kleenex and Band-Aid. The phenomenon repeated itself across much of the world, with curious variations from country to country. In Germany, the same tool is called Inbus, an acronym derived from another company that manufactured the system there, starting in the 1930s. In technical documents, the official name is hex key or hexagonal wrench. Almost no one uses those terms in everyday life. The last name of a Connecticut manufacturer crossed borders and languages hanging from a little bent metal bar. And the most surprising chapter of that expansion was still to come. Decades after the patent, the little L-shaped key found the stage that would make it ever present. In the 1950s, the Swedish company IKEA began selling disassembled furniture in flat boxes, a logistics revolution that radically lowered the cost of shipping and storage. That model only worked if anyone could assemble their own furniture at home, with no professional tools and no previous experience. The Allen key was the perfect candidate for that mission. It has no handle. It is a single piece of bent steel. It costs pennies to produce. It weighs almost nothing, and it fits in any little bag of screws. The internal socket screw also protects the furniture because the tool works from inside the head and slips out less easily than a common screwdriver, sparing scratches on the new wood. The company began including a key inside every box, and the whole world learned to assemble furniture with it. A solution created for industrial shafts ended up entering millions of homes in the hands of people who never set foot in a factory. Today, the internal hexagonal socket is in far more places than most people realize. It dominates modern bicycles, and it appears in industrial machines, in gym equipment, in musical instruments, and in much of the electronics that surround your daily routine. The 6 internal sides transmit a great deal of force in a minimal space, allow for small screw heads, and keep surfaces smooth and safe. This little piece was never an assembly tool. It is a safety device in disguise. Every detail of its shape exists to prevent a spinning part from catching a piece of clothing and pulling a person into a machine. When you turn that little L-shaped bar to tighten the leg of a table, your wrist repeats, gesture by gesture, the exact movement that stopped the deaths in the factories of 1910. You are not just assembling furniture, you are operating without knowing it, the solution that saved countless workers. And it reached your hands practically identical to the original. When you come across that little black L-shaped piece forgotten at the bottom of a drawer, you will know that it carries the last name of a manufacturer who turned safety into simplicity. A tool that was born to save human lives in noisy factories and ended up assembling the furniture in your bedroom. The simplest objects in the world often hold the most unlikely stories. Someone just has to finally ask why. Tell us in the comments what other object name you have always used without ever knowing where it came from. Leave a like, subscribe to Simple Things and Their Secrets, and see you in the next one.